Hey guys, what's up? It's Charlie here, and today we're going to be looking at the top 9 government secrets they don't want you to know. There are some bad things the government does that they actually admit to in declassified documents. But there are some secrets they just wish you didn't know. Well, on this list we even have one which another top 10's channel had to remove. But we've got it, plus 8 other amazing secrets they don't want you to know. Before we get into it, why not subscribe and press the notification bell too? Coming up first, we have Churchill's UFOs. Depending on who you ask, Winston Churchill is one of the most important politicians of all time. He famously led Britain during WW2, and many say he's one of the key factors as to why the UK was not invaded by Germany. Well, 45 years after Winston's passing, it turned out he'd covered something massive up. Years back, Britain's Ministry of Defence had released a batch of UFO-related files to the National Archives. This includes more than 5,000 pages of evidence. One of the pages was a letter from the grandson of an RAF Royal Air Force pilot. He had served as one of Winston Churchill's bodyguards. This letter detailed a mysterious flying object. But in the other pages, there was a letter from Churchill himself saying he wanted to avert mass panic. He had apparently heard of and seen proof of an RAF aircraft encountering a UFO. He actually discussed this with Eisenhower of the USA, and in 1952 he even requested a report on UFOs. However, he also ordered it to be classified for 50 years. He claimed he didn't want to cause any mass panic during WW2. It makes sense he didn't want to destabilize the country by thinking about UFOs. But it's pretty crazy that Churchill could have actually covered up a UFO. Next up is Brown's levitator. Now, this is actually a fact which another top 10's channel had to remove. All Time 10s reportedly mentioned this fact in one of their videos, but apparently it had to be removed. We're not sure who told them to remove it, and we're not sure if anyone's going to tell us to remove this, but here it is anyway. Thomas Brown was an American inventor who studied electricity. He believed he discovered a very strong connection between electric fields and gravity, and because of this, it created an anti-gravity effect. This is known as electrohydrodynamics. He was able to suspend particles in the air, making an ionic drift. He wanted to make this technology for use by industries and the military. But a lot of his research was actually classified by the US government. Some say Brown's research proves anti-gravity and proves the existence of UFOs. So, do you think this scientist really did work out anti-gravity? And more to the point, why do you think All Time 10s was made to remove this fact? Some say it's because Brown's anti-gravity technology is used in the US military today. That may explain something seen near Area 51, which we'll get into later. Next up is Operation Northwoods. If you don't know about this already, then prepare to have your mind blown. Operation Northwoods is probably one of the scariest things the US government has ever thought of. According to declassified CIA files, in 1962 the US military actually had plans to attack its own people. It would then blame Cuba to win support for a war with Cuba. This was actually approved by many stages within the CIA, but luckily by the time it got to JFK he said no. However, some say that's the reason why the US government took out JFK. Luckily, Operation Northwoods didn't go ahead, but the fact it could be approved at so many levels is so scary. And it makes you think, how many of the things we see are real and how many of them are fake? This document remained a secret all the way into the late 90s, so many people didn't know about this. But it sure is scary the US government would even think of doing this. Next up is Identical Twin Study. Now, this is a secret document we almost know nothing about, but it sure is scary and it makes you wonder what this research actually found out that was so terrifying. This research involved the lifelong separation of twins in the 1960s. Basically, they took 2 twins and then separated them at birth. I'm not exactly sure what research they did, and neither is anyone else. This has been sealed in an archive at Harvard University, and unfortunately it won't be opened until 2066. Coming up next is encrypted apps. Now, we all know that when you text or call someone, the government or anyone else can listen in. It's very easy to hack most phones and listen to what people are saying and doing. But you may think that by using a third-party encrypted app like WhatsApp, Signal, or Telegram, you're safe. Well, according to WikiLeaks leaks, this is not the case. WikiLeaks broke into an information vault owned by the CIA known as Vault 7. They found out the CIA actually has the ability to break into Android and iPhone handsets, as well as all kinds of computers. This includes iPhones, Androids, Macs, Windows, and even Linuxes. According to WikiLeaks, their software is so powerful they can remotely control devices and switch them on and off. This allows them to see the user's location, their camera, their messages, and everything on their microphone. It also means that encrypted messaging apps like Signal, Telegram, and WhatsApp are totally insecure. If an operating system can be hacked, this gives them access to all of these apps. Now, most good people don't really have anything bad to hide, but it is still creepy we seem to have zero privacy from the government in the modern age. Next up is RMS LANCASTRIA. So this one is related to the British government, and it's something they really wish you didn't know about. That is because it's likely the biggest British naval blunder. In 1940, around 5,000 people were lost at sea after the ship sunk. It was a naval ship which only could carry 1,000 people, but for some reason 5,000 people were loaded onto it, and of course the ship collapsed. Now, there was an investigation into this, but for some reason the documents were sealed until 2040. What did they find that was so bad that they needed to seal the documents for 100 years? Maybe they did this to make sure that anyone involved was not liable legally. But it really does make you think, was this government incompetence or are they covering something up? Next up is Area 51. I'm pretty sure we all know what Area 51 is by now, especially if you're an avid watcher of this channel, as we've made many videos about it. Area 51 has been in existence since the 1960s, but it wasn't until 2013 when Obama actually declared it a real place. Before then, if you asked Obama or any other president if it existed, they would say no. Area 51 is apparently home to many extraterrestrials. Various retired CIA workers and scientists report seeing aliens at Area 51. It's also where they test out top secret Air Force tech. This includes things like the SR-71 Blackbird. But no one exactly knows what's beyond this restricted area of Area 51. Could it really be aliens, or is it secret technology the mind couldn't even comprehend? Whatever they're hiding, I want to know what it is, but we may never know, sadly. You can be arrested for even taking photos near this site, so I don't recommend going to try and find out. And finally on the list of government secrets, we have CIA mind control experiments. Mind control experiments by the CIA is another thing we've covered a lot on this channel. It's known as its project name MKUltra. Back in the 1970s, the CIA gave unknowing citizens substances. This would then cause various bad effects for these people. Now, they claim this was stopped in the 1980s, but many say these experiments continue today. It wouldn't exactly be far-fetched, seeing as they didn't mind doing it 40 years ago. Who knows, maybe they've just got more clever now and are covering it all up. But leave a comment letting me know, do you think the CIA may still be mind-controlling people today or not? Check out the poll in the top right corner to vote for the biggest secret they don't want you to know. I think it's Brown's Levitator, as I have no idea why that had to be removed from All Time 10's video. If you guys want some more fun videos, then check out my second channel. There'll be a link to it on screen right now, and you can even see what my face looks like if you're curious. But as always, thanks for watching, check out some more videos on screen right now, leave a like if you enjoyed, and if you haven't already, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to Top 10's.